Hello everyone, this is Terry. Welcome back to World of Warships Blitz. Today we'll be looking at something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. You might have noticed that the Tirpitz, the Tier 8 German premium battleship, has been on sale recently, and it was also part of the birthday event. And this is one of the really expensive bundles. So we're talking about, I'm in Australia, so we're talking usually about $70 to $80, whatever that is in your local currency. I think that's a lot of money. I've bought, my son's got an Xbox, so I've bought him Forza Horizon 4 recently, and I've paid $40 for, and I got a, like a box with a disc in it and everything. So paying almost double that for a single item in a game, I think that's a large amount of money. And maybe not everybody has this kind of money, or people who have it, but they're wondering, is it really worth doing this? Do I get something out of it? Is it really worth doing this? I love the game, I'm playing it a lot, but is it really worth spending this amount of money? We're not talking about like $10 or $15, we're talking about a lot of money. So I have the Tirpitz, so I can answer that question for you probably. And let's take a closer look at her and see if she's worth it for you or if she isn't. So yeah, the Tirpitz, a Tier 8 premium. I think the only other Tier 8 premium is the Mogami, the Japanese one. I'm not sure, there might be others, but let's have a look at what she can do. So, statistics. She has 53,000 hit points in Tier 8. Now let's put that in perspective, right? Let's not even look at anything else yet. Let's put that in perspective. 53,000 hit points, fully upgraded, of course. Let's have a look at maybe the Japanese ships. The mighty Yamato. A stock Yamato has 50,000 hit points. The Tirpitz at Tier 8 has 3,000 more hit points than a stock Yamato without upgrades at Tier 10. That, I think, is rather a lot. So she has an enormous health pool. If we compare her with other ships of the same tier, so let's look at the Bismarck, which is the sister ship. She's got 43,000 without upgrades. So we might get there, but I think 10,000 more at full upgrades is quite a bit. In terms of armor, I've got her Citadel protection up to 13%. She's got 12.5 for fire and flood. She's got 15 for damage reduction, which I think is really good. And she's got 17% for torpedo reduction, which is kind of average at Tier 8. She is fast, 28 knots. And she's as maneuverable probably as a brick, which would you expect with something that large. She has 8 380mm guns. Again, the same as the Bismarck, which is a very low caliber for Tier 8. I think both the American and Japanese battleships at that tier have over 400mm guns. But they do hit really hard, especially at relatively close ranges. And this is a German battleship, so this is a close-range battleship, just like the Gneisenau in Tier 7. And I haven't unlocked the Bismarck yet, but she's very similar to a Bismarck. So 14-kilometer range, monstrous, and we do, as is customary for German guns, we do a very good amount of armor-piercing damage. Not so great with the high explosive. And 5 degrees turret traverse is absolutely stock standard for battleships. The secondaries, where the German battleships shine. So after all the upgrades applied, we've got 650mm on each side. I did mention that in my video about the Gneisenau, that they basically have 2/3 of a Nuremberg cruiser strapped on each side of them. And this is a similar thing again, right? So 650mm secondaries with, I got the reload down to under 7 seconds. They have a 7.3-kilometer range. Most of the destroyers get a very nasty surprise when they start their approach and start to run up on you, and suddenly they get peppered with 150mm shells at a range of over 7 kilometers. They do 590 armor-piercing damage. You can't switch them over to high explosive, but you do get the automatic secondaries, which do fire, which is also a lot of 8 on each side, and they do fire high explosive. The Tirpitz just like the Gneisenau before her, has torpedo tubes. And this is something that really distinguishes her from the Bismarck, because the Bismarck doesn't get these. She only gets the main and the secondary loadout, but she doesn't get the torpedo tubes. So these are actually slightly extended in range. With my setup, I've got them up to 5.6 kilometers instead of the, I think, 5.4 being standard for German torpedoes. They do over 3,000 damage, and they've got a 48-second reload, so it's nothing amazing, but anybody coming close to a Tirpitz will regret it. Definitely will regret it. Anti-aircraft is decent, 245 for the large caliber, the small caliber not so much. So how did we get there? Let's look at the armory. We've got, obviously, this being a premium battleship, we've got everything. We've got everything upgraded to the full. I went with the improved armor belt because it gives general damage reduction. Not just, I could have gone with torpedo defense, given that it's a little bit low, but it's only 10%. So it was, if it was at around 15, we get 1.5% extra. So not really feeling that too much. Went with a bit more citadel and general damage reduction as an up armored thing. Because you are a brawler battleship, you're going to want to get in close range for this to fully, for her to fully shine. And she's a massive thing, very sluggish, so defense is always good. The camouflage is the historical camo, which increases the hit points a little bit more, increases the firing range of both the secondaries and the main battery, and it increases the torpedo range, which is how I got to the 5.6. Plus, it gives an additional 40% silver bonus. Woo! That is huge. The equipment that I've got in, as is common with my, this is kind of my standard battleship equipment that I also had for the Gneisenau. I have got in the first slot the secondary battery modification for reload, because it gives the 15% reload without any downsides. And this is how I got onto under 7. I've got the deck protection instead of the general damage control system, just because I have the problem in German battleships, and I don't know if that's just me having bad luck or if that's a general thing. I have the problem in German battleships that I get set on fire all the time. I had this problem in the Gneisenau, and after trying around quite a bit, ended up using this. And I've got the torpedo defense mod in the second slot. There are some really interesting things you can do, especially in the first slot. I mean, you could obviously go with the main battery reload time and get that further down. You could go with the main battery shell dispersion, but you get three precise aiming skills. So I don't know. I don't really feel that. The secondary bat modification would have been interesting as well, to increase the fire range even further and to decrease the dispersion, especially also for the auto secondaries. But I decided to go with the secondary reload just because these 150mm shells, especially against destroyers or anything else that comes in range, light cruisers, they can do a really decent amount of damage. So for supplies, I've got standard battleship loadout, improved crew rations for reload time, maintenance for hit points, and the diesel for speed and traverse. And I've actually lifted my commander from the Gneisenau, so I've got the same setup on him. The underwater protection and torpedo alert, obviously. I've got the artillery maintenance for improved main guns when we have a lot of health, and we do have a lot of health. The victorious charge to regenerate hit points, the survivalist to regenerate more hit points, and the generalist to reduce the amount of fire shenanigans, and then marksman for the precise aiming, so it lasts longer, and I think you can almost, if you time it right, you can get 2 salvos off with this skill using the precise aiming, and you get 3 of them together with the sonar. So if anything smokes up in close range, you can sonar them up. So that's the Tirpitz. She's a Bismarck with torpedoes, you could argue. So you could totally unlock something somewhat similar, but I haven't played the Bismarck yet because I've just ground up to the Gneisenau, but I do find that this thing is a monster. She is seriously, she's creating, first of all, she's creating a lot of revenue. If you run credit boosters, and you get like the 100% first bonus or something. They stack, and you can generate a lot of credits with a tier 8 ship. But I find she's really a monster, and I've had games with her doing over 100,000 easily in terms of damage. If the enemy tends to ignore you or lets you get close, and you can flank things, and you're fast enough to do that, it doesn't always work. Just same with Gneisenau, but if it works, it is absolutely glorious. So let's give her a spin, and I'll show you what I mean, and you can get an idea and an impression of how she plays and how she would compare to a similar battleship that you can just grind out of the tech tree without having to pay that amount of money for it. I mean, if you want the camos, yes, then you're gonna have to pay money anyway, but you might get off a little cheaper. So let's give this a try, okay? Okay, we've got 2 bots in here, but we're top tier. We've got a Fiji, 3 cruisers, and we've got 3 battleships, or 1 tier 7, 2 tier 8s. Okay, and we're playing Trident. So let's go A Cup. Yep, let's support A Cup and see if we can get around on the short there. Who do we have with us? That's a bot, and that York there. Okay, we'll go with that York there then. Over to A. That was yeah. The enemy destroyer is a bot, so nothing dangerous there. Okay, switch the torpedoes over to a thin spread, and we'll head for A Cup. I don't want everybody to go for A Cup. The 2 bots are going God knows where. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're on the other side of that mountain. I can't lob that. I need something a little bit closer to me. Okay. Here's the Akka. Do I want to waste my shots on this guy? No, I have something better to shoot at. There's the Prinz Eugen. Hello. Precise in. Prinz Eugen has torps, so let's get the... You see the range on these secondaries. I can already take him under secondary fire. Torpedoes. Oh, yeah, that's behind. Did he fire already? No, they are the Prinz Eugen torps. And he was firing not at me. There you go. He was firing at the York. I'm easily avoiding those. It's just out of torpedo range for me, though. I'm not sure I can catch him with torpedoes. Okay, he's turning in. That should do it. It's 1 and 2. And secondaries. Nope, he's still up. There's a sturdy German ship here. Okay, let's just keep parking him with the secondaries. Make sure that we don't run into his torpedo salvo, because they should be up again by now. Okay, come on. I want to start shooting at that Colorado. Seriously? The guy's still up. Our team captured the area. Okay, come on. You have to die, mister. Can I get you? Okay, there we go. That should do it. There we go. And the Colorado is next. Is the York still alive? No, we've lost the York. Okay. There are the Prinz Eugen torps. I was expecting these. Kind of getting a little bit too far away here. Okay, torps out against the Colorado. And now we just brawl. We've got the health pool to push this off. There you go, the torps hits. Secondaries. Come on, give me a citadel. It's taking out some of our secondaries. I'm not able to penetrate him, really. Okay, let's disengage first. because we're just coming off cooldown with the heal. We get the torps back up. Torps reloaded. Yeah, the auto secondary is trying to fire through the mountain. That's going to work. Okay, turn in. Can we get the torps away against him? Where is he? Where is he parked behind that island there? There he is. Torps away. Forward primaries in. Secondaries out, and that should finish him off. There he goes. Okay. Next. Do we have anything in range? What is that over there? That's a cruiser. What's left? That's a Takao. Okay. Let's head. Okay, we control all 3 caps, so that's good. Let's head over this way. Swing the guns around in case the Takao is showing up. Got a minute left. There's 3 of them over there, so they're probably not really gonna need my help. Yeah, that Northcar's dead. That leaves only 1 cruiser. Where are you? Our team is about to win. A Japanese cruiser. Up there you go. Okay. Let's see if you've got torpedoes out. Precise aim activated. Let's slow down a bit. Okay, full on reverse. Looks like he's firing torpedoes. Turn in. And then we speed up again. There come the torps, yeah. Just in case, we fire ours, but I don't think we're going to need those because now you're out of torps. And this is where we get you. Kaboom! There we go. I see this is a decent game with the Tirpitz. You go in, you brawl, you get close up, you use your torpedoes. We've torpedoed a battleship twice. And even though we haven't done much in terms of citadels against the enemy battleship at close range, but we've got some citadels hits in, I think, against the other ships. So we got big caliber, we got the battle star, we got all the things. Look at the amount of income, right? So XP alone, double for the first victory, but Camo puts in a decent amount. Premium ship itself puts in a decent amount. Same with free XP. And the silver, again, we started with a base value of 24,000. Then we got another 6 for the premium ship. We got another 9, almost 10 for the camo. Okay, I'm on premium time right now, so I got another 12. Then the boosters kick in, and the resupply and service cost. So that is nice. That is a nice result. We did 60,000 damage with the main battery. I usually do between about 60 and 80. Depends what I get to shoot at. We didn't really get lucky with the citadels today. So I have games where I had 5, 6 citadels and easily did 80,000. And look at the secondary amount, right? We did 17,000 with the secondaries. We did 12,000 with the AP and 5,000 with the auto secondaries. And we did 16,000 torpedo damage. And apparently some fire damage from the auto secondaries as well, because they set 2 fires. And we killed 3 ships. So, yeah, came up top of our team, as we should. The Northcal did good on our team as well. And, yeah, fighting a tier 8 American battleship, that's a tough opponent, but if we get close in, and we can get all the secondaries and the torpedoes to bear, then that just hurts them. So that's kind of the sort of battle that I get relatively regularly with the Tirpitz. I usually do if it's a good game, I do between 80 and 110,000 damage with this thing. And again, I haven't played the Bismarck, but this is not something I could do with the Gneisenau at all. Now, the Gneisenau has less guns, but this is something I really couldn't pull off. So what do you really get for your $80? We talked about it earlier. This is a premium ship, and this is a very expensive premium ship because it's a tier 8. And in the bundles, usually you get the camo, and you get a bit of gold, which is useful for buying one of the lower tiered premiums. I think if you buy her for gold, she's in about 13,000 or so, which I think in dollars is, at least in Australian dollars, is about 50 or 60. But then you have to put the camo on top. So you end up with the same kind of amount if you buy it in a bundle or not. So you do get a very, very powerful ship. And I love this ship to death, absolutely. This is a monster of a ship. She's got a massive health pool. If you set her up for heal and regen and defense, because she already has the firepower to boot, this is an absolute monster. I've given tier 9 battleships a run for their money easily, and she's beautiful as well. It's a great ship. It's a great ship to have in your game. I'd say if you're really, really passionate about the game, and maybe you're a BB player, and you really enjoy playing battleships, and you want to play you like playing in tier 8 rather than in all the time and up at tier 10, then the Tirpitz is a really, really good ship. And if you've got the money to spare, go for it. Right? If you don't, or if you're tight on money, you probably will be getting a very good results with other battleships as well. Right? You can grind out things like the Bismarck, which is similar to the Tirpitz. The Japanese battleships at tier 8, the American battleships at tier 8, they're all good ships. They're all good ships in their own right. You will not win the game because you bought yourself a Tirpitz. That's the point I'm trying to bring across. If you don't know how to play, and you don't know how to play strategically, you don't know how to play in a team, you don't know how to use the strength of a ship or how to use the map to your advantage, then it's not going to make you win the game. And I don't think any ship in World of Warships does that. They are very good ships in the right hands, and they are giving you a huge boost to credits and earnings, but they're not winning you the game. So think about it. If you feel it's worth it, go for it. For me, it was definitely worth it. Although, again, I like playing. I like playing the German battleship line. So I had a bit of an idea. I had a trained up captain. If you're just starting new and you want to just rush up to tier 8, don't, because a lot of people in tier 8 have put a lot of time into the game and know very well what they're doing, and know how to. If you don't know how to dodge torpedoes, destroyers can sink you, even if you're in a Tirpitz. They can sink you relatively easily. They might go down in the process, but they can sink you, definitely. So it's a great ship, in my opinion. It is an absolute monster. And for me, having her in the game is totally worth it. For you, you have to decide it by yourself. Don't get pressured that you feel like you have to buy a premium ship because everybody else runs them or because you lose against them frequently. It's not about the ship. It's about the player always and what you can pull off. So I think you can totally stick to the free-to-play and do great. But if you have the money to spare, or you just want to have it, or you know what you're doing, and you think that, then she is an absolutely amazing addition. She is definitely one of the most powerful premium ships I've played in a long, long time. So that's it for today. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.